Have you finally gotten tired of seeing Raphael everywhere you go?
Who says I want to see you again?
Or Lae'zel nagging you about the Orphic hammer? Well then it's time to invade the House of Hope. In this video, I will walk you through how I completed the House of Hope, got the Orphic hammer, saved Hope, and defeated Raphael. Let's get into it. First, you'll need to find the Devil's Fee in the Lower City. If you haven't found it yet, it is north of the Lower City Central Wall waypoint. Enter the building and speak with Helski. She might give you some information for free, but then I needed to pay gold to get the information I needed. She can break you into hell, but when you inquire about it, she will want more gold. You can persuade or intimidate her here and waive the fee. She will give you some objects and a note on how to open the portal to Raphael's house. Go upstairs into this very normal circle on the floor. You will need to read the note she gave you, as it will tell you where to place each item in the circle. Find the items in the bag that she gave you and drop the items on the floor. Then you can throw the items into the correct circles and a portal will open up. Go through the portal and you'll be in Raphael's House of Hope. When you go through the main doors, you'll be greeted with a projection of a person named Hope. She is chained up and you'll have the option to save her by breaking her chains with the Orphic hammer. I recommend saving her to help you out later in this quest and because she deserves to be saved. If you agree to help her, she will give you disguises so that you can walk around the House of Hope freely. She will tell you that the Orphic hammer is in the archive, so go through the doors and head west. Inside the archive, you will be followed by the head archivist. You can talk with him and persuade him that you belong here though. You also learn that the Orphic hammer is magically protected and needs a master word to dispel. Corilla is also here and you can talk to her, but she doesn't give anything extra to help with these questlines. From here, I was given an invitation to the Boudoir and the task to investigate the room. Make your way to the Boudoir that is behind this forced curtain, but it will dissipate when you have the invitation. Inside there is a restoration fountain, so make use of this while doing anything in this place. Towards the back of the room, you will find Harleep and he wants to play a game with you. I won't judge your choices here, so do as you please. I ended up in combat with Harleep. Harleep will usually use Ethereal Escape after getting hit with an attack, and this makes him impossible to hit. He will also use Incubus Charm to take over one of your companions. This companion will need to succeed on a saving throw to break the charm. You can also force the companion to roll a saving throw by causing damage to them. There will also be vengeful imps in this fight who will use Eldritch Blast against you. I recommend making quick work of them since they are just a nuisance, and if you can't hit Harleep, you might as well hit something else. Eventually you should get to the point where everyone can gang up on Harleep. I pinned him in a corner and just waited until I could hit him. Depending on how you deal with Harleep, they will either give you the key to Raphael's safe or you will take it off their body. Especially read the note in the safe as it has the master word for the Orphic hammer. After that, head back to the archive. If you go up to the Orphic hammer, you can dispel the magic bubble, but you might want to take care of other wandering eyes in the archive. I'll leave it up to you how you do this since you really only have to worry about the head archivist. The skeletons don't seem to care. Once the head archivist is dealt with, take the Orphic hammer, and you might as well take everything else in the room. Hope will come back and tell you that once you leave this room, everything will be on fire and that Raphael is on his way home. Now it's time to save Hope. Leave this room and sure enough, lots of fire. You will need to go straight across to the other side of the house past multiple enemies. I ended up killing most of the enemies in the dining room, but there's no reason to bother with that massive ball of fire. Once you make it to the other side, you will see the spot on the floor that leads to the prison. Enter that area and you will exit out of combat. Your whole party won't teleport with you, so everyone needs to enter this place on their own. When you pass through this prison door, you will enter combat again, this time with 2 spectators and some imps. To free Hope, you will need to use the Unshackling Smite on the 2 large crystals. Once she is free, she can help in the fight. If you can, take out the imps first. They will cast Eldritch Blast with the Repelling Blast effect, which can shoot your companions and players off the map. Then focus on the spectators. I will also note that the Orphic hammer is a terrible weapon in general, so you might want to have a non-weapon user run around with the hammer to free Hope instead of a heavy hitter. Also, there doesn't seem to be a time constriction on freeing Hope, so you can finish this combat and then free Hope with no consequences. Now with Hope free, you must escape the House of Hope, so make a mad dash back to your portal. I pretty much ignored every enemy I came across and just raced back to the portal. Once everyone is around the portal, another cutscene will play and Raphael will be home. In this cutscene, you can persuade Yurgir to join your side by passing a 30 persuasion roll. This is highly recommended so you don't have to deal with him in the boss fight. Use any spell you can to raise your bonuses when trying to persuade him. Shortly after, you will enter the boss fight in the House of Hope. If you are like me, you might just stand there for a minute listening to that awesome boss fight music.
True souls that couldn't be bought, doomed, detected, and caught.
Afterwards, you should begin tackling everyone and everything except for Raphael. He is just too difficult to take out at the beginning of the fight, so leave him for last. Some tips for entering this fight: don't use radiant damage as it can stun you and do more harm than good in this fight. If you can, make yourself resistant to fire damage and potentially bring someone with counterspell along. It is also important to try and keep all players and companions up in this fight if the soul pillars are still up. The soul pillars give a lot of advantages to Raphael, but also will make your companions and players weaker if they are brought up. In my experience, I had at least one heavy hitter go to the pillars and take them out, while the others focus on the Cambions and Corilla. Hope has a spell called Revoke Guest Status, where she can just remove a whole person from the fight. If you happen to be fighting Yurgir, use this against him to remove him from the fight. Otherwise, you can use this ability on the Cambions. I primarily used Hope for healing in this fight and just worked on keeping her alive. If she falls, she dies and you fail the quest line. Another tip for this fight is to keep your party spread out to avoid the Cambion's ray of fire, as well as Raphael's damaging fire attacks. Soon enough, Raphael will enter his ascended form and unleash a devastating hellfire attack. If you can, have your squishy characters run away to avoid the damage. Keep at least one melee attacker up close to him, but be prepared to take a lot of damage. If your party is looking really bad and low on spell slots, take advantage of Hope's divine intervention and use it to gain a long rest. She does not join you in the final battle, so use this ability now while you can. When you can, have everyone gang up on Raphael. Raphael loves to use ranged attacks, so he is not great close up. Take advantage of that with your heavy hitters. Work on taking him out as quickly as possible to avoid another hellfire incident. You can also use things like Silence, Hold Monster, and Otto's irresistible dance against him. With enough consistent damage and healing on your side, you should be able to strike down the devil once and for all. And with that, those are my tips and tricks for the House of Hope. Of course, this is only how I completed the House of Hope, so please leave your tips and tricks down below as well. As always, thanks for watching and good luck on your adventures.